year. Listen, he's thrown, let's see here, he's got 17 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions. He takes care of the ball so well. That's opposed to Nick Foles. He's had 8 touchdowns and 7 interceptions in limited action. But listen, they have such a good running game. Henry's on pace essentially to rush for like 1,600 yards. That's a huge help for the quarterback. I see Tannehill lighting it up.
And how about Tua or Kyler head-to-head? Who you got?
This is a tough one. I love the way Kyler plays, but I'm going to go with Tua. He got his licks last week, especially from Aaron Donald. He woke up, he figured out what the NFL is all about, and you can't figure it out all in 1 week, but he's going to be ready to play. He's got something to prove. He was awfully sharp, and he showed flashes of being great last week. That's why I think he's going to really turn it around. They're going to get another win.
That's an interesting one. This is such a fascinating game in so many ways. Let me bring the crew in. RC, Tua, if there's such a thing as a game in which the quarterback almost really didn't matter, that was the game they played last week against the Rams, which I guess is a nice way to make your debut and get your feet wet. Assuming that that is not the circumstance this week, what do you want to see from Tua?
I want Tua to give me the feeling that Kyler Murray gave me through half of a season last year. At this time last year, when we were looking at Kyler Murray, we said, that dude is it. That dude has it. This is the person they're going to build their organization around. That's what I want to see from Tua Tagovailoa going forward. I'm not saying he has to win every game or even carry this team on his back, but it has to be more than flashes. It has to be things that are substantial that we feel like, you know what, this is the dude we thought coming into last year would be the #1 overall pick. This is the dude we felt like the Miami Dolphins were tanking for. And obviously you couldn't see that in week 1, but it doesn't mean he doesn't have it. We just have to see it come through on the field. We know that this defense is really good. We know that they're extremely well coached. Tua Tagovailoa was supposed to take over because his ceiling was higher than Ryan Fitzpatrick. Well, show us that this week. Show us that next week. And this is a great time to start against a young quarterback who is everything that people are thinking you can be. This is an opportunity for Tua Tagovailoa to come out, win a football game against a good team, but also show that he's the guy to build around in Miami.
Yeah, Mark, you covered the college game for us as well. So obviously all through his spectacular seasons at Alabama, you've seen it all. What is it you expect him to do well? What do you want to see from him, and what do you expect him to do well Sunday?
Well, I loved what we saw on the goal line last week. His anticipation, he felt the all-out pressure, so he's seeing it, he's processing it, and his body's reacting. That's what Coach Sarkisian said was one of his best traits. There's guys who are physically twitchy, right? They're fast twitch. They're so quick they can stop on a dime and restart again. He has that mentally, and for a quarterback, that's what you want. That's when you know you're going to get a player who can process the information quickly enough and then go make it happen physically. He has all the tools. I think last week was just a little bit of a warm-up for him, and this is going to be his week to shine.
Again, it was such a strange game last week. They scored on special teams and defense, and before you even turned around, that game was over, and he didn't have to do a whole lot. So, Rob, if you're playing defense against a guy who's playing his second game in the NFL, what's your thoughts?
We got to keep scoring because, look, when you look at the stat line there, 93 yards and a touchdown is not going to cut it. So you're going to have to score on defense. You're going to have to score on kickoff return, punt return. He's going to have to be better. We're going to have to see more out of Tua if we expect him to be the quarterback that we all want him to be. I mean, listen, when you talk about a rookie quarterback, Justin Herbert, when he came in for the first game against Kansas City on like literally 30 minutes notice, like, hey, you're starting. He went out there, threw for over 300 yards. So I think that he needs to do a lot more as far as a passer to convince me that he's going to be the future of that division of that team.
Well, I mean, it's a good point. And Herbert has been so good and Burrow has been so good that it sort of does set a bar fairly high. Do you expect it, RC? Do you expect him to play big? You expect the Dolphins to win?
No, I don't. I think the Cardinals will win, and I think that Tua Tagovailoa's lack of efficiency, or not efficient, lack of production will be a part of that. Them not putting the offense in his hands, giving him the range to play against an Arizona Cardinals defense that actually isn't very good. I still think the Cardinals win. I think Tua Tagovailoa's not just inexperience is a part of that, and so we'll be still looking for more from him in weeks to come because I don't think they give him full range this week.
Last time Tua played Kyler, it was in the National College Football Playoff semifinals, Alabama beating Oklahoma. Meanwhile, we'll take a break. Coming off a big night for Aaron Rodgers, will the Packers make RC's top 5?